There we go. Okay. There we go. I think this is going to be a winner. Little dinky river bass like it. Hey everyone, welcome back to Fishing Outside the Box. Check out that swim bait collage I got going on the wall there. Pretty cool. Anyway, today we are starting our next lure, and the lucky candidate for this project is Tom Western Fishing. It's a guy on Instagram that I've kind of known and messaged back and forth for several years. He used to live out in California and fish big swim baits for big bass out there. But then he moved to Colorado and he had all that background in fishing. He started implementing those tools and those skills on the trout there in Colorado. So he's been using BFS gear, which is basically a bait casters that will cast really light lures and really small jerk baits, crankbaits, and then the little Gancraft 70, which is a little micro glide bait. It's about 2.5, 2 3/4 inches long. So I reached out to him and I said I'd love to make some little lures for him to use on those trout up there. I thought it would be fun and it would be a challenge. So we'll see what we can come up with, and we got to make them strong enough to hold up to those feisty little trout up there. So stay tuned. Should be a new experience and a fun little episode. This is kind of what I have drawn up here for my idea, and we'll get it cut out and start to chopping and see what we can come up with. Looks fishy already. Okay. Now I need to establish the center line. And then kind of rough in the shape here. Got these roughed out, and I just love using these like little craft blades. You can push them out and break them off when they get dull. So we're going to start carving these in, and I'll probably just time lapse this, and we'll see which ones kind of start taking shape and which ones I like. Okay, I got these two kind of roughed out, and I'm starting to kind of carve some details on there. So I'm going to drill some eyes for just some better visualization and continue on here. Okay, got some eyes drilled, a little mouth there, and some scales carved. That's about all I'm gonna do. The rest of the details will be painted on. I have these little stainless 1-inch screw eyes. For how small this screw eye is, it has a ton of thread. So I think this is gonna be strong enough. Obviously, they're gonna be too long for the hook hangers, and I have these other ones I can use for the joint. Tom said he has had trout straighten out hooks and split rings, so he wants it to be as strong as possible, and we're going to try to do that for him. Next up, we need to cut the joint. All right, let's see how bad I can mess this up. Okay, I've done worse. It wasn't great. but we'll fix it. Okay, we got it to a manageable place. Now I'm gonna try and put the joint together. I have this nifty little, it's a tiny little drill bit on this little handle, and I can kind of just pre-drill these. So. Okay, I put some hook hangers on it. Obviously this back section wasn't tall enough to put a screw eye up through there, and there's already screw eyes right there in the joint going back, so I had to put the hook hanger on the back. I've gone and swam this in the pond a little bit, and it sinks, but I think I need a little lead to stabilize it in the head here, so it just has a tight little wiggle, which I think will be great in like current. And it's a fast sink, so it'll track well in current. So we'll keep developing this one. I might make another little lure for him, but we'll see what we could turn this into, and I might go fish it before I send it to him. This is what I have come up with. I had to add some weight to the belly. And this is just going to be a swimmer. It doesn't really have the characteristics of a glide bait because it does not like do the slow suspend or a slow sink. It's just a really fast sink, and it has a good swim to it, actually, just like a really tight minnow type wobble, which I think actually will work great in heavy current, where Tom is fishing in Colorado there. He'll just swim it, and you can kind of pause it in a little pocket and keep swimming it. So that's that. The star of the show, which I admittedly did not make on camera, I was just like kind of messing around, and it kind of happened. This is one of the other little minnow baits that I had cut out, and by the time I started working on this bait, I realized there's no way I can make a glide bait out of this small of a profile with the stuff I have. However, I cut a slit in the bottom and put a wire harness in it. I started messing around with different swims. I put a bunch of lead right there, and I got it to have the right orientation. Ended up putting a tail spinner on the back, and so it's just kind of like a slow sink tail spinner. And on the fall, this thing does like the spy bait thing. It wiggles on the fall. So I think that's going to be a winner for Tom. I'm ashamed I didn't make it on camera, but there wasn't really much to the build. I just cut a slit in the bottom with a handsaw and fit that wire harness up in there, glued it in, and then put a little bit of lead in there. So I'm going to paint these up with some cool trout patterns, and hopefully we can finish this project off and get to the next one. So let's start slinging some paint. Okay, I have a hard time painting in a comprehensive way because I just have these base colors, and most of my colors I mix for a long time to get the perfect color. So anyway, here's what I ended up with. And the camera probably doesn't show it super well, but it's a little brook trout. I'll put some eyes on it and clear coat it. Basically base coat of white, and then a silver on the sides, and then olive on the top, pearl on the belly. Then I got those kind of violet spots down the side, a little bit of copper on the gill plates there, and then some kind of some purplish color shift on it, and it's looking pretty good. So this is done. Here's the other one. Oh, and I put a little bit of black splatter on top. This one, the black splatter kind of got out of hand, but I think it looks kind of cool. It's like a dark trout. So I'll wait for these to dry, slap some eyeballs on them and clear them, and hopefully we can get them to Tom before everything freezes up in Colorado. I know he just posted today and said that they just got their first snow. So I don't know if trout still bite in the winter. I think they do. But anyway, we'll try to hurry up and get this done. So there you have it. These lures are done. They've been swim tested and they are acceptable. Here's the other one. Beautiful trout, little brook trout paint job with the spinner on the back. Anyway, this is a little tail spinner. It swims pretty straight, and on the fall it wiggles on the fall. And this one does not do glide bait things, but it has a really nice little swimming action, and I think it's going to do great on like the burn pause or like a burn and twitch retrieve. That's going to get bit. Anyway, that's that. Here's a little side note. Just some organization I've done in the shop. Here's kind of a collage of some swim baits that I have. I've made most of them. Some of them, like here's a 316. And here's another 316. This was my first rat that I ever made right here. Or my first lure that I ever made. There's a Tiny Clash, a shell cracker. There's a MS Slammer. All those baits I made. There's a Bull Gill. There's a FOM. Kind of a cool little company. This one is made by Cal and Roy from The Artistic Angler. Just some organization on my pegboard here. Got all my soft plastics lined out. Got all my rods stored up here. And then some more tackle down here on these shelves. Just some different ideas and some different projects going here. Just some inspiration hanging up. Some drawings that I would like to build here soon. So anyway, that's just a little update on my studio. So anyways, this was a fun one for me, y'all. If you have lures you want me to do for you, then DM me on Instagram and I'll try to get them made. And we'll try to keep this thing rolling. But thanks for watching Fishing Outside the Box, and we'll see you next time.